Hey, y'all. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. I'm recording this on Christmas Day 2023 to recap my year. Haven't talked to you all since the last quarter, and I do believe, just to say it right at the top, I will be closing this show sometime next year, since I'm not really posting as much. I'm going to do the same format that I always do in December, which is to go over my yearly review and recap things such as what I'm grateful for, lessons that I've learned, things I'm proud of, memories, and looking ahead to next year's goals. So here we go. Starting with the things that happened in 2023 that I'm grateful for. And I listed 5. First one, and actually, these are actually in no particular order, but the first one that comes to mind is my long-distance international relationship, because I actually have not had a long-distance relationship in a couple of decades, and I think it was really something brave for me to kind of explore the unknown and try to do this with someone who didn't speak my language. I didn't really speak his very much, and we were separated by an ocean. Like, really, really challenging. So I'm glad that I did that. There's a lot of things that I learned from that relationship, and I'm sure that we will continue to be friends far into the future. The second thing is the Spanish tutoring that I did, because that opened me up to be able to communicate better in the places that I love to go, which are mainly in Latin America. And of course, be able to converse more easily with my ex-partner who only spoke Spanish. Number 3, and again, these aren't really in number order, but the third one is multiple trips abroad, because not only did I continuously visit him in Colombia, but I also went to other continents that I've never been to before. So Mexico, Morocco, Portugal, and Egypt for my birthday. So now I've been to Africa and Europe, in addition to South America, and I live in North America. And so now it's just a matter of getting to Asia and Australia sometime. And of course, there's the third A continent, which is Antarctica. But I don't care about being cold. So if I never get to Antarctica, I'm going to be all right. Number 4, when I lost my job, not that I lost my job, but when I lost my job, that I had investments and savings to fall back on. This year has been super, super crazy for people that work in tech or digital. This job market is something that people are saying, especially on LinkedIn, that they've never seen before. It's unprecedented, basically. And, where normally you could get a job within a couple of months, it's taking people 6, 8, 12 months or more in those sectors to find something. And they have to resort to other kinds of, more menial jobs per se, which is not to downgrade them for other people, but when you are a 6-figure tech worker and you have to stop and work in a retail store or something, it's definitely a blow. Just having to file for unemployment is a blow, because getting $300 a week is absolutely nothing near what you're used to making. And so for those of us that have cars, homes, families, it's been a really, really rough year. And then number 5, a rekindled relationship with someone that I will call an old flame, because I met him a long time ago, and because of different circumstances, we weren't able to ever get together, and now we are more often. So it's a great blessing to my life. It brings me joy, and I'm really grateful for it. Now I'm going to shift to a hard lesson that I learned. And really, it's a multitude of lessons in one, because I'm just going to say that it has to do with travel. The big thing about me traveling this year is that while I love the experiences and the people and the weather and the food and all of that, if you don't know, I'm going to put a link in the show notes with all of my vlogs that I posted recapping those trips. It's tough for me to get home because I don't live in a major city. I live in a place with a small airport, and I've actually been thinking about doing a live stream on YouTube just so I can answer questions and share more about these travel lessons in detail, which I still might do. Let me know if you'd like to see that. But yeah, when you're traveling back and forth from a small airport, it's rough because you are basically at the mercy of, the 1 or 2 times per day, if that planes will go to your area from certain hubs. I know one time I got stuck in a few places this year. One of them was Philadelphia, which is an airport that you actually cannot spend the night in. They close every night, which is very interesting. I don't know how many other airports do that, but this one in particular is the first airport I've ever been stuck in where I could not stay. But interestingly enough, I had met a woman a few months prior in the Paris airport as we were both on our way to Morocco. Did not know her from a can of paint, but do you know that I was able to call her and I was able to stay at her house overnight. So I probably stayed at her house for maybe like 8 hours or less. And then she took the time to get up super early with me, like 3 or 4 a.m., and drive me all the way to the airport because she was on the outskirts of Philly. So shout out to you, girl. I really appreciate you. You know, you don't think that when you're meeting strangers in an airport, because I'm gregarious and I talk to anybody, but you don't think when you meet strangers in the airport that, you know, you might need them again someday. So that's another great thing that I'm going to put that as a bonus for what I'm grateful for, is meeting a lot of wonderful people that I've been able to make friends with without really even trying. Things that I did this year that I'm proud of. Well, I just said it, traveling around the world solo. Each place that I've gone, except for Colombia, of course, because the first time I went was last year with a group. All the other countries I went to this year for the first time, I went with a group. I went with either El Camino Travel, Exodus Summit. I was part of the Our Rich Journey YouTube channel's retreat in Portugal and accountability group. The second thing I would list would be earning my TEFL certificate and teaching adults for the first time about English. TEFL is TEFL, and it stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language. And so I got that certificate. I can teach almost anywhere, maybe not in international schools because you need to be a licensed teacher for that, but anywhere where I don't have to be licensed, I can teach English in those countries if needed. So that's going to open doors for me, and I might have to tap into that next year since I still don't have a job from my layoff 6 months ago. And then the third thing that I'm really proud of this year are the new clients that are helping me keep afloat, as well as remaining clients. So I still freelance with UX Content Collective. They've been helping me keep afloat. And I also have a total of 6 new clients across my voiceover business and my freelance writing business. My favorite memories would have to do with trips. I can't really list just one thing that I care about because that would just be, it's just like when you say, what's your favorite song? I have tons of favorite songs. Like, can we narrow it down to a year maybe? And I can tell you what was my favorite song that year perhaps, because I just have too many favorite songs. But anyway, I really enjoy traveling, and I just see that as remaining a part of my life, whether I just continue to travel every month or I become an actual digital nomad that can live abroad and work and make my living online. Looking ahead to 2024, actually, I'm going to pause here, and before I talk about some of my goals and hopes for next year, I'm going to briefly revisit what I said last year about the things I wanted to achieve in 2023. And those main three things were improving my Spanish, which I did, traveling. Yes, I went to 5 countries on 2 new continents, and I got more clients. I actually got 2 new clients for my freelance writing business, which is called Rewrites, REE, Writes. Get it? I love a pun. Now, the 2024 goals that I have include possibly teaching abroad. And I had the pleasure, my cousin actually introduced me to a woman named Asti Lachey, and she runs a business called Abundance Astrology. She is a Black woman living abroad in Japan as a teacher. And her Instagram, I'm going to put in the show notes, which is Asti Lachey, her name, ASTILACHAE. Okay. She actually did like a 90-minute reading for me. Of course, it wasn't free. This is her business, but she's really great at it. She was able to show me a lot of different things, explain some of the countries in the world where I would be at my peak if I were to stay there long term. Just lots of things that I can't even really detail and describe. Like, she also made me a report, so she could teach me how to look at my astrology for myself. And that report, y'all, is like 65 pages. Like, she is no slouch. She did the damn thing. So shouts out to Asti. Go check her out on Instagram at Asti Lachey. Got 3 more writing clients, one of which was a lawyer in Baltimore who just happened to find me with the Googler. So shouts out to him and all of the people that I've worked with who have liked my work. I love what I do and I like to help people. And then, of course, I would love to get more voiceover work and get back to that level of 2020 where I had my first 6-figure year. And as I said before, living abroad long term, like I'm not in love with America. There's just some things I just don't care for, and it just seems like it keeps getting worse and worse. 2024 is a political year, so it's even going to be worse. So yeah, if I can escape for a while, that's what I want to do. And the new places that I want to visit include Asia, places in Asia like Japan and South Korea and Thailand, maybe India, and definitely South Africa. The Exodus Summit Group is going on a retreat next year in February to Cape Town, South Africa. And I would love to visit Cape Town and Johannesburg and even Madagascar and Mauritius. But I got to be a little more conservative with my travel now that I'm in the situation that I'm in. So a lot of these trips that I talked about previously in this episode, I purchased a long time ago, especially the group trips, like going to Mexico for Dias de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead. I bought that, probably 9-10 months ago. And the trip to Egypt is where I went to Cairo, Aswan, and Luxor. That was during Thanksgiving week, and my birthday was on Thanksgiving. I'm like, I'm certainly going to go somewhere. That was also a trip that I bought a year ago on Black Friday, and that was back to back, right? October, November. So yeah, I'm going to need to pay those trips off before I think about going to South Africa, but it's on my list. I'm getting into the points and miles game more heavy and learning more about how to spot deals and, where to get information and things like that to make things work for me with this travel game. So yeah, I'm going to be on that. Let me know if you are interested in me doing a live stream on YouTube to talk about some of the things that I've learned with traveling so much this year and pretty much going somewhere almost every single month of 2023. And thank you for being loyal to the Kicking It with Daree podcast. I started this in 2015, and like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to close it in 2025, so that's 10 years. And there's not a whole lot of podcasters that can say, whether they're frequent or not, can say that they have been podcasting for 10 years or more. So shouts out to me, too. I'm going to give myself my own flowers. But thank you for listening, and if I think of things that I think are important enough to talk about, I'll tell you I'll be back. Otherwise, you could probably count on me doing another quarterly review in March. Happy New Year and stay safe.